1.
Video games are meaningful to me because it's a way for me to keep in touch with friends of mine that I wouldn't normally get to see every day.
They kind of help me relax and get into a competitive mode.
I do feel the games are meaningful because some games really deal with like ethical issues, like RPGs for example. So they really like developed critical thinking skills for me personally.
Yeah, I think it's a good outlet for students to get away from the real world.
Hi, I'm Dr. Randall Case. Games serve a lot of different functions in my life. They're a great way to connect with family and friends. There's always been sort of a social component to games. If we look historically, that's the way games have functioned in society for much of history. It's a sense of community and a sense of sort of shared values. Games are also a great way to sort of de-stress, to relax and sort of let your mind slip away into a different world or a different set of activities, long day at work, that kind of thing. I also play games when I really kind of just want to explore sort of a different side of my personality or a different sort of role. I enjoy games that sort of make me think about how someone else sees the world. And they're a great way for me to sort of stimulate my thought processes around, what would it be like to be this person?
For me, games are kind of a new form of storytelling. They give a more interactive way for people to experience a story. So something like The Last of Us can really make you feel like you're part of the story more than just reading it in a book or watching it in a movie.
They definitely had a meaning to them when I was growing up. It was just kind of a way to connect with my cousin, connect with my family a little bit. But now I think it's just a way of just entertainment, just something fun to do.
Like, games mean a lot to me. I moved to this country not knowing the language, and my parents kind of worked, and they finally were able to get my brother and I a PlayStation 1. And that's how I started picking up the language, as well as going to school. So I remember like on Tekken 2, there's a start game and then a continue game, and I didn't know what either of those meant. So every time I play, I would just select the first one because I've memorized that's what allows me to play, which is start new game. So I would always have to restart the game every single day until I realized like continue means go.
Sense of belonging and connectedness, joy, happiness. Most of the time when I'm playing with people I love and care about. And there's just that sense of fitting in and relaxing with people. Occasionally the games that I enjoy are also quite sad sometimes. One of the games that I really enjoy, and I go back and play occasionally, is Shadows of the Colossus. And it was the first game, I'll honestly say, it was the first game to ever make me cry.
They make me interact with other people, especially with my friends online. So it's always a good time when we're joking around.
Forza Horizon 3. I am into cars now, so I'd say like, oh, I really like this car, I'm going to do this, this, and this to it. So it's kind of a way to like interact with what I like to do.
Yeah, you can definitely build emotions or have an emotional attachment to certain things in the games.
Certainly games can train. The military's used games for training for decades. We see games being used in classrooms more frequently to teach sort of basic skills. I think those are kind of low-level skills sometimes. They're very specific. But I also think games teach us something more important. Being able to explore morality in games, like what is my ethical comportment? How do I think about tough situations or when I have difficult choices to make? Games can help us think about those. They can certainly build empathy. They can help us think about what it's like to be somebody else who's in a different situation.
Games can be a form of entertainment or escapism and whatnot, but so are plenty of books. So I feel like they have an ulterior motive whenever they say that they're a waste of time, because humans can't work 24/7. They have to have some forms of entertainment or escapism or some outlets. So to pick this one in particular seems kind of odd to me.
They're not meaningless. To some people, it's something that it's their job. They play video games as a career. For some people, it's something to escape real life. Like if they had a bad day at school or they had a bad day at work, not relating to video games, that day they just hop on and just say, you know what, screw this. I don't want to be here right now. I'm just gonna go into something that I can have fun and I know that will make me happy.
I think people who think games are a waste of time are usually people that have never actually sat down and played a game enough to understand it, or the older generation, because I feel like the older generation is always like, whatever we do is a waste of time, and they'll say things like, go read a book, and it's like the reason you're reading a book is to kind of live somebody else's life, escape from your life, learn something new, and that's what you do with video games, except it's more visual. So I think they're not a waste of time, but there are definitely people who say they are because they don't understand games.
It's far more mindless to watch a television programming or a movie where you sort of accept what is being given to you in the way of information, versus a game where you have to actively make decisions. Does that, is that answering their question as to why these aren't why these are meaningless or trivial? No. Are you changing the world when you play a game? Maybe not directly, but again, if you are changing the way you think about things, in some respects it's not any different than reading. Do we say that reading's a waste of time? No. Why? Because reading can open up your mind to different ideas, it can help you learn new ideas, it can challenge your preconceptions. Games can do the same thing. I think my outlook on games has become more enriched. I don't think I've always loved games, so that's never changed. But I've appreciated them in new and different ways as I've gotten older. When I was younger, I was more about the sort of fast pace and fun and the cool graphics and the great mechanics. And as I've gotten older, I think the games I look for tend to be new and interesting, provocative, things that are going to make me think about things differently, or at the very least, again, bring me together with people that I care about and allow us to sort of commune together.
I think games mean different things to different people. For me, they have a lot more meaning just because when I was younger they helped me, but it really depends on who you are and what games mean to you, but they mean a lot to me.
Well, they've gone from being kind of a niche thing when I was younger. A lot of people didn't play them that much, or a lot of people did play them, but it was kind of not necessarily a stigma, but kind of a view of a certain type of person who plays a lot of video games. Now everybody plays games.
It's kind of always just been like that thing to do. Wake up on a Saturday, play some video games. Friday night hanging out with friends till like 2 in the morning. So it's nothing really like significant, but it has just had an impact of just having some fun.
Defend objective A. Sniper!